Hello, this is DJMM here. Uh, Making my final video for this playlist for today, actually. Now, I did make this one. Now, I have made a couple videos for this series, but honestly, I enjoyed it. I think it's perfect for this, and my holy thoughts on it, like, holy crap. Um, is 3-0 starting life in another world. I will probably put all the. It's gonna be a lot of different videos. That series was one of the type of series where Subaru is one of those type of goofy characters that you look at and you're like, what the hell is wrong with them from the beginning? But then he turns into a total awesome badass character towards the end. So it's like, dude, keep living it up. um, they may have not mentioned season 3 yet, but come on. They have not got Ram's memories back. My blue haired demon is what I nickname her, or baby blue haired demon. I think that's even a better name. That's what I nickname her. They have not got her memories back. If they don't make season 3, what the hell are they thinking? Come on, really? You're going to look for that cliffhanger. I mean, then again, I never read the mangas, so it's possibly that's how it ends. I'd be like, really? Come on, people. But, yeah. I think, in truth, you've seen where the story was going at first. I think Ram got dumped by Subaru. Subaru's kind of like, oh, all sad and depressed. But come on, man. Really? Yeah, the beautifulest girl in the world. And I will admit, she may be a demon, but she's badass. She has saved her life more than you can say. Adding to it, I think, I think the half elf is pretty beautiful too. Her purple eyes can be mischievous though. You look right in them, and it's like they're staring down your soul. I mean, honestly, like, really? But it could be also memorizing spells, you just stare at them. Totally dead minded, like, holy crap, you take my brain out. Yeah. And then you have some of those, like, very evil characters, like the witch cultists, which, by the way, it's kind of shocking how they were not evil at the beginning. Season 2 would say that. They were not evil. It was thanks to one guy and his vengeance to save his future wife, what could have been future wife, from dying. Fucked up, he already killed her already. One hell of a fucked up moment. And then pretty much turning himself into totally insane darkness. Yeah, that's his dumbass fault. Awesome character, by the way, I will say. They all have character designs. They did an awesome job on the series. I will say there was a lot cut out, but I understand the reasons. They wanted to keep a certain time frame, and they did it well. And they made a beautiful story towards the end. Season 3 is going to be amazing. I still will say, if I had been a badass witch cultist, I would love to be that, like, evil Darth Vader type of actor voice. I don't know why. I always loved that Darth Vader low tone, but looks at you, tearly dead eyes, and does not move. Don't care what you do. Don't give a care if you even touch a finger or if you flinch. He has your eyes on you. Even side view, back view, front view, 160-degree view, and totally just stares right at you and says, do what you want, but I can still kick your ass if you touch me. I don't know. I just love those type of characters that look so like they can't do shit. They look weak and defenseless. But right when you go towards them, you learn you fucked with the wrong dude. I mean, come on. Who doesn't like a character like that? And I think me playing like that type of character is cool. Honestly, the fighting scenes, they were awesome for what there were. I heard there was a lot more, and I've seen a lot of people made videos for that. But come on, life in another world. Heck, I think Subaru wasn't even planning on finding a girl. He was a lonely bastard in his house, doing nothing but playing the games and hating what he had. But then he somehow miraculously had the eyes of heart show up in front of him. Lucky ass dude. Don't tell me, don't get me wrong. Dying constantly and then actually feeling that pain after come back alive? Tormenting. I will admit it's better than the world we're living today. Especially in the US. Holy shit. But besides the point, I'd rather live being in Subaru's eyes than right now being in the tormenting world that we are in America. So, yeah, But then again, I'm pretty much a single person that has no love. So, Subarus even have one step ahead of me. Good job, man. You have all the girls falling for you, but you never really see the reality of it. Awesome. Well, like I said, I think it is something I really see a lot of that kind of miss out on a lot of series too. I think in 3-0 it's the same thing. There's always those certain characters that you see. I think there's one, I will admit, when the Wits Agreed, I think it's her. She was badass. White hair, totally white, black. But that one main character that I guess, I can't think of his name, Boswell was with, like, you've seen him. That's the kind of guy I can imagine. Now, his voice could have been a little bit lower, just a little bit more touch of tone to it. A little bit more of that kind of badass, I've been there around this shit before and I ain't dealing with it again. Going very low and deep, showing his authority with his own voice. Don't have to say many words. Like he wasn't saying many words. He could just say, bring it, or put your hands up, or whatnot. But you see that, hear that voice, and it touches your soul. That guy I could see actually doing that. Like I'm basically just showing you, you can make it very low. I'm doing this on purpose, because I always practice a very low and tone voice. You could have put that in this character, just like this. Low in tone, not many words. And damn, Roswell will look down and he can see inside his damn soul. I can see a person like that, if they had a character on 3-0, an evil protagonist like that. And of course, they're all going to fall eventually. But a guy like that for like an ending sequence, because that's what I have noticed too in all series. Once it was the Great Rabbit, they ended it. They took it out to a whole another universe, done. Then the Great Whales, giant whales. Why can't they have a person like that? That is that mysteriously evil. That is that, don't say damn much, but has that low tone voice, can really sound down into your soul and grab it out and then fight it forward. It's stuff like that that makes me like wonder, that could be like one of the opportunities they could do in part 3. Not saying they have done the series, but damn, why can't there be a series like that? I mean, of course, I think in every protagonist, unless they're already evil, like this video I made before of Angel of Death, he was already evil, dude, but technically he's supposed to be a good character, different story arc. 3-0, they can have one person like that. Low tone, tell him bring it on, kick his ass, or try to at least, eventually take him out. I mean, come on. Really? But then again, I guess people like me that can make their voice go super low. And that's the thing, I can play a high squeak voice. I kind of try, but because I always practice a very low tone, rushed, like I smoked 1,000 cigarettes in my life, kind of voice. Using that higher tone, it's hard to do more and more. But then again, I guess there's not many characters like that has a kind of voice like me. And don't get me wrong, I think it kind of fits on the guy's character. Like me, I'm like my grandfather. I'm broad. I'm very intimidating looking man. I stand 6 feet tall. I'm not strong or like muscular. I'm average build, but I still have a little bit of a stomach. I still have a little bit of that weight, but I'm not weak at all means. I can still hold my ground. An average guy like that, hell, that's insane. That's like Subaru's worst nightmare. And honestly, here's a funny gig. I'm just saying this as a hilarious twist. Imagine someone as strong as his father. Now, you knew how strong he was. Damn, that'd be awesome. A little bit lower tone voice. Hell yeah. But here's the catch with that, I will admit. It sounds like sometimes you see some of these Japanese characters, like, they're Japanese voice actors. They never really have a low tone. Or they do, but it's only in certain parts of their languages. I don't know. Is there ever, I'm just curious, this is no bias or anything, is there ever a Japanese voice actor, that's always really low, but can basically do a lot? I don't know, because even with some of the lower Japanese voice actors, you don't see them saying much. They're more kind of like that ghost, like a mob type of guy, like one of those 1970s dudes that had always a suit, don't say a word, but it says, bring it, or don't touch me, or it says a certain little bit of sentences here and there, but that's it. Doesn't really have that super deep voice. Come on. I think there's so many missed opportunities where some of these characters, they sound awesome, but there's just not that much of a deep grab to you. I think that's what I've seen in a lot of different characters. Like there's some that I would love to voice act, don't get me wrong, that would deserve that lowest rough tone of voice that has that strength, that power, and that can show you. Bring it. I don't know. There's a lot of missed opportunity with some animes. And I think Re:Zero is one of those type of series where there were some characters I've seen in there. Even with the season 1. But I love all the seasons. I think all the voice actors did amazing. But I think some of them could have used a little bit more of the deep flair. And when they didn't have that deep flair at all, it kind of shows you that was a missed opportunity. Like the first battle they had with, I think, Edna, or what I think her name is. I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't cut me on it. Where the big guy with the mallet, come on. He could have been a lot deeper tone voice. Just a little bit more rougher. He had it there, even in the American version, but he wasn't rough enough. I think he sounded a lot more out of tone than his body looked. He looks like he'd been there, done that. Probably had a couple beers that kind of roughened up his voice a little more. But that was it. Missed opportunity. And I think in Re:Zero, it's no exception. It was a missed opportunity in my opinion. I think there should have been I think a lot of voice actors I have noticed, even in American tones, I have noticed too, a lot of series, they don't put American voice acting, or if they do, it's very little. It's none at all. And I'm like, a lot of the series are amazing. Especially me reading them, honestly awesome. I love them. They're amazing. The two, like, Angel of Death, if there is an American version, I will love it. But even in Crunchyroll, like a paid service like that, you don't see it. And they don't have it in, I think, Hive Mind, I think it is. I don't remember what it's really called. They don't have it on there. It's like some series, they have it and some ain't. I know VRV is where I get most of mine. They're perfect, but, go figure. And, it's just one of those things that's, like, kind of pushing me. Like I said, Re:Zero is amazing. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Re:Zero. Life in Another World. I'm going to actually put 2 on this one as well, because I had this in mind, and I have been making a lot of different videos for this as well. And that is Rose. A lot of people have made a lot of, a lot of anime characters should really catch up on that series. Damn. Yeah, RWBY. That's all you have to put. All capital, of course. Just, it's from Rooster Teeth Animations, I think. Damn. They're kind of like Re:Zero. But here's the catch. I will say, not the story arc and not the videos. But you see how Re:Zero first started. You could see the change and transition of the anime, the art design, the people around, all that, right? Now, Rose, I have made tons of videos, and they're a pinnacle of from beginning to end, of how you can start off not spending too much money, but making a good production run, but grow it out from there, like honestly power it out. And I think from the beginning of Rose, there was some animation clips that you noticed, like people walking on the rooftops, for example. Like, heck, fighting scenes are awesome. I still want that scythe. Rose, you're badass. And I always say, if I ever could be on a series with a little bit of a darker, evil version of Rose, it would be black and dark blue. And honestly, I would play that character as the guy of mine. Have a little bit of that rough voice because he's always around that black tar crap, but damn, that would be awesome. And the only thing is, to not give away too much of the story, I'll just get a broad abbreviation of it. It started with Rose, a young girl. She pretty much had powers like all of them do, and their world has been divided for years. I think there are 4 different nations from it. It came from, at first, 2 gods, and which is kind of reminds me of the devil and the heaven. created the world together to make one being. The devil had one side, the angel had the other. Eventually, one character, which is like one of the main characters in the story, uh, wanted to destroy him. So he put everyone against him to try to finish him off. But because they're like gods, they can't die. They totally sit fine and left them on their own devices, all the people to die for themselves. But before they did that, they killed them off. And eventually, like the Earth, eventually people came back and started building societies again. But when that happened, no one had magical powers. At first it was natural, now it ain't. Now crystals are their magical source. They're kind of like they mine them. They can find them in the ground and they regrow like coal or oil and earth. And the thing with that is crystals are their magical source. It ain't as powerful as like gas here that can make things go up in the stratosphere of space because they don't have anything that strong. But it's just enough for them to survive and give them enough magical power to go. Now, I think, like I said with Rose and her team and a lot of others, they're pretty much hunters and huntresses. They're pretty much trying to protect the world from Grimm, the evilness that the devil of gods have brought on this earth after running and running away from all of it. The only way to get them back is from the objects itself that they have across the world, trying to keep it from one of the evilest characters trying to kill them in the first place. To put it bluntly, so they're trying to get them all together, trying to save them, and the more they keep going, and the more Team Rose keep going through, the more hell they find, and the more badass scenes of fighting you can ever damn find. I think there's a lot of sadness from story arc, from people dying and beyond. From the main character, I think one main character in the story, he's a complete dunderhead, but he has a beautiful heart, and he wants to protect the world as he can. But the woman he once, thought it nothing of, he fell in love with. Now the twist is, she dies to protect him. Messed up. And it keeps going from there, and the story keeps going. And from the last episode of Volume 8, I think, I don't remember what episode, I think it was Volume 8. I don't remember what episode it was. But yes, it's all the way to Volume 8. If you want to, watch the series. I'm planning on buying it on DVD. I think, like I said, Rose is one hell of a character. She's badass. And imagine having a scythe that's actually a sniper rifle in one. A scythe and a sniper. Awesome idea. Badass. Strong as hell. And holy crap. Awesome series. I think, like I said, that series, I would say, from the beginning to the end, like the last episode that they have made so far. It started off with, they had a cheap, low production run. They tried their best to make what they could, and they made an awesome story. It gave an awesome beginning. And it slowly grows even better. Their story is pretty much awesome already. You don't have to fix it. Just add to it, and there you go. But the animation has gotten better and better and better. From the characters to all. From even the fighting is more fluid now. From the beginning to now, you would see the difference. Badass. 100% awesome. I just love it. I think, like I said, both amazing. I think, every way. And I think it's the same way, I think, even on 3-0. I don't know about Rose at all. I don't know if it came from a comic book or a manga or what it was, but I think they may actually have came out with a TV series that they could make, and they kept going from there. And honestly, like I have said, awesome, sweet, I love it. The characters are amazing. It's one of those type of series where it just blows your mind of how fighting should be, but how powerless. Even that's the one realistic thing I like to add in the series. What could be the realistic aspect? Besides their world and mining different kind of components to keep them going, the other realistic part I see is no matter what fight you go in, no matter how big it is, there is a such thing as being powerless in the fight. And honestly, but even though you're powerless, you don't give up. You keep going at it unless you're at your last dying breath. But you don't die, you keep fighting. It's kind of one of those things you cannot give up. Honest truth, that's how our world is, no matter what fight you're in. Don't give up. Giving up is the easy route. Not giving up is the hardest damn thing to do. And I think in some ways Subaru is like the same thing as Subaru's like 3-0 Life Another World. Why I put these two together. Because if we ain't thinking about it, both of them. You just don't give up. Come on. Subaru could have gave up a long damn time ago. But that's not in his nature. Honestly, the same character as Rose. She cannot give up. She have wanted to. She have almost tempted to. She had tried before. She just couldn't. Isn't that the same way for Rose? Rose, Subaru, perfect characters. They're almost the same. Like I said, I think some characters in any series I have been noticing, some of the, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think some of the characters deserve a little bit more of a deeper voice. A little bit more of that, I don't know how it is with anime-wise. It's a lot more with anime. I think in Rose, I know Rose, Rooster Teeth is an American, American studio. I know they're from America. I'm thinking. Do not quote me on that because I don't know. But I'm thinking they're American studio because I do see all their series are mostly in America. Voice acting, American voice acting. They're one of those type of series where they're an anime series, but they're voice acting. They're American language. They're American only. I think there's only like one or two in Japanese, so I don't know. I think Japanese don't like it. I don't know. But America, hell, it's one hell of a series. Yeah. I think the issue with like Subaru is you do see some like the main character of Subaru, he has a deep voice, you can tell. He tries to hold it back, but there's certain parts where you're like, damn. That gives it darker dynamics. And I think in Subaru's case, I see that in a lot of different series. They look like they should be a little bit more rougher. Like they should have a little bit more of that darker tone. Especially, like I made a video on Death Note. Or not Death Note. I made a video on Angel of Death. Come on. The main character of Angel of Death, he should have had that deeper, very rough, horrible sounding voice in some ways. Because he was burnt. I mean, he was wrapped up like a mummy with a burnt body. You'd think his voice wouldn't sound like that. I can honestly tell you, even in real terminology, his voice would be a little bit more tougher, a little bit more rougher, a little bit more pinnacle. I think they should have had a deeper voice in him, especially. But then again, in Japanese terminology, I don't know. Is it natural for that? I don't know. I think that's the only thing they missed opportunity on that series. And I think even in, I think it's the same one in 3-0. The Japanese version, I just finished. They just made the last episode of that. Episode 50. Go watch it. Badass. Awesome. I love Subaru 3-0 Life Another World. But some of the characters are missed opportunities. They look a lot more deeper tone. But when you hear them, you're like, huh? Now I will say, one of the side characters they had in the first series of 3-0, he did have deeper. He did have that kind of tone of a darker tone. I did kind of hear that rougher tone, but he wasn't super rough. I kind of did enjoy that. They did kind of have his dark tone, but I think it should have been a little bit more rougher for his age. But then again, what do I know? He was the kind of guy that didn't have many words, but when he did, he was like happy to speak to you. And when he gets to know you more, which you'll see later on in the series, he does talk a little more. I think the guy he should have been a little more deeper because, hell, from what I have experienced, guys like that, they always have that deeper, rougher tone. A man, a few words. A little rougher should have been better. I mean, the guy come on. That's because he's Phelps' adopted, friend or whatever you want to call him. Come on. That guy could have had a little bit of a deeper voice, but I guess there's not many voice actors out there like that. They're like me that can create a deep voice and enjoy doing it. And honestly, no. I'm a nobody. I highly doubt any kind of studio will come out and say, do you want to do an anime character? I'm like, if they actually told me that, I'd be like, I would do it for free. I just love voice acting. I love acting as a character that has a deep voice deep arc, deep voice arc, amazing character design. I just, honestly, if I can make it as low as I can put it and be freedom on that and make him sound deep tone, tough ass piece of crap and kick ass, I would do it. Yeah. That's just me. But, like I said, I'm a nobody in the middle of nowhere in Indiana with probably no hopes even attempting to be one. But what do I know? So that's my thoughts on 3-0. This one was a long one, but 3-0 and Rose, actually. Both of those series I have made multiple videos on. But come on. I love them both. And I haven't got my full system out yet. I haven't got my actually second sub, planning on getting it soon. When I get my new TV and everything's moved around in this room, because this here won't be, I think this here might be still here. I don't know yet. Question mark. By then I'm planning on actually buying both series, the full series. 3-0, Life of Another World, buying the full benefit of Blu-ray DVD, Blu-ray on Blu-ray and owning it. And I'm thinking of doing that with Rose. I think I'm opening both of them. I think they're both amazing series, and honestly, keeping them in like my DVD case of different series to own, that's one of them. I'm hoping, I don't know how it works, that I can buy the American version and be happy. I don't know how it actually works on Blu-ray. If they just automatically give you the Japanese version, that's it, with subtitles, or is it, I want just the American version only, I don't know. I'm hoping it's only the American version. Because honestly, it's kind of hard to watch a movie and you're constantly pausing, reading, pausing. Yeah, that's how it is. I'm a slow reader, so I have to pause it, read it, and then play it on. So that's why reading takes forever, but I do get it done. Plus, I'm not the brightest book on reading, but I can read the basics, so if I can read anime, then I could probably read any kind of cut sheet. I can read it all. Hell yeah. But, you know, plus I like to put a little bit of flair into some of the voices that I think deserve it. So, you know. Heck, I played good on that one character in 3-0, so there you go. Amen. I hope you guys enjoy this. This might be a little bit of a long one, but like I said, Rose was the main series. 3-0 was the main series. I love them both. Magnificent. I don't know if they will have season 3. We'll see. I know Rose. I don't know about, volume 9. That is still a question in the air of how they will end it. Volume 8 has not ended yet, so if you want to catch up on that, go ahead. I know Rooster Teeth, they do have their own thing. It's the reason why I'm watching anime, especially the American versions I can find on multiple different what do you call them? Damn it. Apps. Alright, they're all in one app, but they're all in different kind of sections, like Crunchyroll, Highbind, I think it's called. Rooster Teeth has their own, and I think there's several others. They're all on VRV. And it's one awesome app. You can pay it all for one heavy fee, or you can pay them separately. I think, honestly, it's what I'm going to probably do. It's more worth it that way than trying to buy, like, let's say, Crunchyroll, then this, and then that. And honestly, I think Crunchyroll made that, but they did a better job on that than Crunchyroll itself, so I guess. So I hope that people enjoyed this kind of thoughts on 3-0, Life in Another World, and Rose. This is DJMM here signing out. Have a lovely evening or morning, depending on where you're from, friends. See you later.